in the last session, the control statements were done, and yeah. So till here we have covered. So in the way the like operators we have seen, like if you know the first character and if you want to execute all the observations which begins with and ends with and in between and the letter anywhere it occurs. So those characters we have seen. Those particular things. Next we'll see with the operators. So from here we have to see actually it is referring to the test data.
So Sudhir, before you go ahead, I created some data set for my own practice. I had few questions for you actually. The first and foremost thing, like you said, while creating a data set, defining the data type of a numeric, let's say number, it's not necessary to define as number as the data type, right? So, that was working perfectly for me. But when I tried putting like, let's say, data type numeric, and beside that you said that I can write number just to define it like it's a numeric number, right?
Right.
So when I was trying to do it, it was again creating a column called number in the data set.
So after the numeric variable, if you define the num,
Yes.
Yeah, so that is optional. That depends on the versions. So in the earlier versions, like num is the default one. Even if you define also, it will not create. Later versions and all, like you no need to define that at all if it is a numeric keyword. That depends on version to version, like which was installed. In the earlier versions, it was like that. After from 9.1 version onwards, you no need to define the keyword itself. By default, it will take the numeric. You don't need to define num as a keyword there.
Right. Okay. Because it was when I was writing num, it was showing me another column. I mean, it created a column called num for me, which I didn't make it. And another thing is like, let's say I want to create a column called address in my data set. So address combined of numeric as well as special characters. So is it possible for me to define in the same column in address? Like let's say I want to create a column called address. Is it possible for me to do that?
Can create. That depends on what special characters we are using here. So the special characters and all with the numeric it will not. So you have to give the dollar symbol for that thing, even if it is not a character. Okay. So for the special characters and all, you have to define the dollar symbol. Okay. So we'll all see if there are some extra delimiters. What particular statement we have to use? We have to use the infile statement for that. If there are some special characters in the data here, how to read that data. All these things we'll see in the infile statement.
Okay. No, while practicing, it just stuck to me. Like if I want to define address, how can I do it? Okay. Yeah. And one more thing, Sujin, like what I am practicing, if I want to show you, how can I do it? Because my system will not
share your screen. Instead of now, I made it as myself as a presenter, no? So myself, I can make you as a presenter and you can share your screen.
Right, but the thing is that if I change my date and time of my system will not work. My GoToMeeting will not work.
Okay, so now with what system date you are working as the today's date, isn't it?
Yes, today's date, yeah.
Yeah, so now see, I have connected now. Now I change the date in front of you and I've opened this as now. So why the GoToMeeting will go?
Okay, I'll try it then tomorrow. Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So now with the where statement we can use the different operators. Also operators we call these as the operators like greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay. So these symbols either you can write the symbol or you can use the text. So for greater than you can use either the symbol or you can write the GT. For less than you can either use the symbol or LT. less than or equal to or LE, greater than or equal to or GE, not equal to or NE. Okay, either you can use operator, you can use this particular text. Okay. So in the work library, I have the test to data, which is nothing but our usual data like with the name, gender, age, height, and the weight with 19 observations. Okay. Now, in this, in the age column, now I want to apply the filter on the age column, and I want all the ages which are greater than 14. I want to apply the filter on the age column where the age is greater than 14. Okay, so the condition will write, then we can write like this, where age is greater than 14, or you can give it the age GT 14. Okay, and if you execute this, all the ages which are greater than 14 are populated here. Okay, so now what is the difference, like if I write the condition if age is greater than 14 and for where age is greater than 14, what is the difference between these?
If you are putting the condition as if age greater than 14, it's going to check from the first data, I mean for the first row. But if you are already putting age greater than 14, so it will only go to row number, let's say where it is 15, 16, like that, right?
Right. With the where statement, straight away it goes with the condition only. It will not read the other observations. Whereas with the it reads each and everything.
Right.
Yeah, and now we can apply the multiple conditions as well. Within a single where statement, we can apply multiple conditions like this, where I want all the ages which are less than or equal to 14, and their gender should be the male. The gender should be the male. Both the conditions should satisfy. This should be less than or equal to 14, plus the gender should be the male. So we can write like this, where age is less than or equal to 14 and gender equal to male. If you want to apply one more condition and one more variable and one more variable and one more variable, like this we can apply multiple conditions like this and. So whenever you are using the and means this condition should satisfy plus this condition also should satisfy. Like this both the conditions are satisfying. Like this how many observations are there? We'll get those things. Okay? And this T1. So age is less than or equal to 14 means 14 also will come, and where the gender is male. These are those observations will display. Okay. In the same way, like we can use the different operators. It depends on the requirement. Instead of using less than or equal to, if you want the greater than or equal to, you can apply greater than or equal to. Or except the age 14, I want all the other ages where the gender is male. Except the age 14, I want all the other ages plus their gender should be the male. So if
not
there is a
equals
case,
to, not equals to 14, right?
Right. So not equal to, we'll use this thing. Okay, for this particular symbol, hold the shift button and press 6. Okay. That symbol that we call as the cap. Okay. So not equal to 14, and this means except the age 14 and the remaining ages where the gender is male. It will display all those things.
Okay. So for like in SQL, we generally put all the statement in between double quotes. Over here, no quotes, nothing is required, right?
What do you put in single quotes in SQL?
It's just the condition, right?
It's just the condition only.
Okay.
Whatever you are writing with the where is just the condition.
Okay.
Now, so if you want the ages in between so and so, like I want to print all the ages in between 20 to 40 or 20 to 50, whatever it is. So it will give the between end operator where age between. Now I want to print all the ages between 13 and 15 means which includes 13 and 15 also. Okay. Between 13 and 15 means which includes 13 and 15 also. So where age between 13 and 15 means 13, 14, 15 ages will come. So these are all the ages which are in between 13 to 15. Okay. Now,
so Sudhir, before you go ahead, you have written,
yeah,
if you can show me that editor, I just
yeah,
want to test. So you have written where age between 13 and 15, right? So this between, can we write in symbol like greater than equal to symbol or something like that? Is there any special
yeah,
symbol?
you can. Where age greater than or equal to 13 and age less than or equal to 15.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can write, right?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can write. Okay.
So it works same even if I write between in words and or I use symbol for greater than or lesser than, right?
Yeah, it gives the same result only.
It gives the same result.
See, to arrive to one particular output, you can write that in multiple ways. If possible, though, you can write in any way. Does not mean like you have to write only in this particular manner. Okay, but this is
Okay.
also the way where we can also write like this instead of that.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Now, suppose of these names, like I just want to print only a couple of names here in this output. So like I just want only the Alfred and the Alice. Only the Alfred and Alice I want to print here. Okay, so or Alfred and Carol, whatever the names it is, I just want to print only a couple of names. Okay, so where we can use the in operator here. So where name. So first we need to write the condition on which variable, on the name variable. So where name in of, within the brackets, just mention the names which you want within the single quotes. So within the single quotes Alfred, comma, within single quotes Carol. If you want some other names, comma, within the single quotes mention those names. Okay.
Okay.
Then you'll get only those names.
Okay.
You just open this. So you just get only the Alfred and Carol. Now, in the data, in this data, except the Alfred and Carol, I want all the other observations. Except Alfred and Carol names, I want all the other names in the data. So what to do?
Names not equal to Alfred or Alice, right?
Yeah, so not enough. So enough
Not
means
enough.
all the names which begins it. So
Okay.
just mention not enough means except these names which you specify here within the parenthesis. Except those, it will give all the other names in the output. So except the Alfred and the Carol, you can see all the other names in the data. Okay. And with the where statement, we can also write this in a different way. Let's say, say I have the data like this with the name and number, Raj, Raju, Hari, and Ram, and with the name, number, different numbers. Now, so with the where statement, that too with the like operator, whether if you know the first character or last character or in between or the second character or the second from the last, whatever it is, we can get that thing. If you know the single character, based on the single character, you can bring all the names. Now, I want to display all the names which begins with Raj. I want to print all the names which begins with the Raj. After that, whatever it is, whether it is Raj or Rajkumar or Raju or whatever it is, I just want to print all the names, but the begins with the Raj. There though it should begin with a single letter, but here with a single word. Okay, here it is with a word. Okay, I want to print all the names which begins with a Raj. So in this example, Raj and Raju. And if you say Hari and Ram, these are not beginning with the Raj. So I want to print all the names which begins with the Raj. Means these two observations should come now. Okay? So how to get that is like data, new data set, set existing data set. This is as usual. Where the condition on what variable? On the name variable. So where name in, so usually we'll write in of to print all those names. So instead of printing those names, I just want to make SAS only take all the observations which begins with the Raj. So for that we have to use the colon symbol. After the in, you have to use the colon symbol. In colon, within the brackets, with what name you want to display all the names, with the name Raj. So mention that within the single quotes. Mention that within the single quotes with what name it has to search, and to make SAS understand that print all the names which begins with the text which you enter here within the single quotes. We have to define the colon symbol. Okay. So now if you execute this, the data set is the check one. If you see this, the Raj and the Raju, these two are the observations. Now, let's say I want to print all the names which begins with the RA. Now instead of Raj, you want to print all the names which begins with RA. Means now in this case, Raj, Raju, and the Ram. These three observations will come now here. Because I am putting the condition, the names which begins with the RA. So where name in colon, yes, within the brackets mention that RA. Okay. So let's execute this. Check one is the data. This Raj, Raju, and the Ram. Okay.
Okay.
So like this depends on the requirement. We'll be using either the like operator or the in colon operator for that.
Okay.
Now, so the another difference between the, so one difference between the where and the if is already you have explained, already you told now. If though each and every observation it will execute, whereas where though it's straight away it goes with the condition, it will not read the remaining part of the data. That is one difference. Another difference is the one which we are going to cover now. Okay. So now.
So there, here is one question. It's like, so I understood the difference between where and if, right? So
right.
if checks the condition for each and every row, isn't it?
Right.
Right. And where only checks the condition where the, I just wanted to say ki where condition is already given.
Where condition, if you write where age greater than 14, means straight away it picks only the observations which are greater than 14. It will not read at all the observations which are less than or
14.
equal to 14.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next difference between the if and the where statement. Now let's say of these observations, I want the observation fifth. I want the fifth observation to display in the output window. Just want only the fifth observation to display in the output window. So how to write with the if statement is like data, new data set existing data set. This is as usual. Okay. So now I want only the fifth observation. So the fifth observation is Henry. Okay. And I just want only this observation here. So you can write the condition like this: if underscore n underscore. This underscore n underscore is the automatic variable. Okay, we call this as the automatic variable. So if underscore n underscore equal to 5, so underscore n underscore represents the observation number. Underscore n underscore represents the line number, to which line you are referring. So whatever the number you write with the underscore n underscore represents the line number, represents the line number or the observation number.
Okay.
So if you write underscore n underscore equal to 10, that means 10th observation is what is the meaning. If you write underscore n underscore equal to 19, 19th is what is the observation number it is referring to. Okay.
Okay.
So now if underscore and underscore equal to 5, then output. Output means what? It gives the result.
Result.
Okay. So if you execute this, if you open this, Henry is the output. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So underscore and underscore represents this thing. Now the difference. Now see here, we'll see the difference between this, the if and the where statement.
Hmm.
So I mentioned like this: if underscore is less than 3, what does that mean?
It only show the observation number 5.
For
It
the
only
selected one now.
selected
For
one.
this one,
Okay.
I'm talking with this
Oh,
condition.
okay. Okay. It will show any observation numbers greater than 3. I mean, it will start showing from observation 4.
This is a less than symbol.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it will only show observation 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay. Now let me run this. Okay. So 1 and 2 observations, what are those? Alfred and Alice. Okay.
Okay.
So the data set name I given is the T1. Alfred and Alice. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now
Oh, okay.
the same thing with the where statement I have used. Where underscore and underscore is less than 3. Okay.
Mm.
Execute this. Open the log window.
Mm.
What it is showing the error here?
Variable.
This is the errors and all will show in the red color. What is that error?
Yeah. Variable underscore and underscore is not on file.
Yeah. So means what?
Listen, where means where can a where doesn't work in this statement?
So variable underscore n underscore is not on the file test2. If you see this, with the where statement, if you are using this condition, it is stating this as the one variable and it is checking that variable in the test2 data set. Is the underscore n underscore as a variable is there here?
No.
That means the difference whenever you are using the where condition, the condition you can give only on the existing column names. Only on the existing column names only you can apply the condition, whereas with the if statement, not only on the existing, on the newly created columns you can give, or on the automatic variables also you can apply the condition using the if statement. Whereas with the where statement, we can apply the condition only on the existing column names. That is another difference between the where and the if statement. Okay. So one is this and another one is processing time is less in the where statement compared to the if statement.
If statement.
That is so this if statement and the where statement, both these statements are used to restrict what? Are used to restrict the observations to the output window. Are used to restrict the observations to the output window. Okay. Restrict the observations means
only the selected rows will be displayed.
Right. So that means we are actually restricting the observations to the output window.
Output window. Okay.
Okay. So the if and the where statements are used to restrict the observations to the output window. Now, in the same way, if you want to restrict the column names, now we have restricted the observations using the either the if or the where statement. Now, to restrict the column names to the output window. To restrict the column names to the output window, we use statements called keep and drop statement. We use a statements called keep and drop statement to restrict the column names to the output window. Okay, like how we'll see that. So we have statements like keep, drop, and the rename statement. Keep, drop, and the rename statement. So the syntax for the keep is keep followed by the variable list. Syntax for that is keep followed by the variable list.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say I have 10 variables. Of those 10 variables, I want only 3 variables to be in the output window. I don't want all the variables. I just want only 3 variables. Then what we'll do? Keep mention the variables which you want to be in the output window. Mention only the variables which you want to be in the output window. Of 10 variables, I just want only 3 variables A, B, C. Mention only those variables in the keep state. Okay. Now, from the testable data, I have these many variables like name, gender, age, height, and the weight, of which I want only columns like name, gender, or I want only the name and the height. What are the variables you want? Okay. I just want only these 2 variables to be in the output window. So what we will do here? Data, new data set, set existing data set. This is as usual. Like keep, mention the variables which you want in the output window. Like I want only the name and the age variables only now here, or name and the age. I just want only these 2 variables. So mention those 2 variables in the keep statement, like keep followed by the variable name, space variable name. If you want one more variable, give one more space and mention that variable name. Okay. And the data set is the RR. Open this. So now you have only these 2 columns like name and age. Okay. Now, so this keep statement you can write in 2 ways. One, like this, below the set statement you can mention the keep here followed by the variable names like this. And the other one is beside the data set name. Data will write the data set name. Just beside the data set name also you can write the keep. Then whenever you are writing the beside the data set name, the keep statement, that has to be within the sync brackets. That has to be within the parenthesis. Brackets, keep, and we have to use the equal to symbol here. If you are writing it separately, just mention variable keep and followed with the variable name. But whereas if you are mentioning beside the data set name, you have to define like this only. Within the brackets, keep equal to mention what and all are the variables you want to be in the output window. Okay. Set existing data set name, run. And if you execute this, open the data set RR and the variable names for name and age. Okay. Now you can write this in any ways, either this or this, but I recommend this thing. Okay. Either you can use anything, nothing harm in that, but recommend this thing. Why means right. I'm explaining that thing only. Okay. Why means there are there are a couple of procedures were there, and whenever you are using that procedure, I have to, along with that procedure itself, instead of writing the separate statement, within that particular procedure only, I have to keep only a certain variables. I have to keep only a certain variables in the output window. There won't be any set statement in that particular procedure. There won't be any set statement. But in that particular procedure only, I have to use the keep statement. So how can I keep that is beside the data set name like this we can write. Okay. If you are writing with the set statement, we can write like this. But a couple of procedures are there where there won't be any set statement and all. But in that particular procedure, I have to use the keep or the drop statement. How to make use of that is beside the data set name. Okay. Got it. So as a better practice, you can just go ahead with this particular way of writing the keep statement. Okay. Now, let's say I have the columns like this: eng_1, eng_2, _3, science, and the social. Okay. So these are the columns I have. Now I want to keep all the columns which begins with eng_. I want to keep all the column names which begins with eng_. Means eng_1, eng_2, eng_3, eng_4, eng_5, so on like this. Want to keep all the columns which begins with eng underscore. Okay. So now how to write? So usually one way is writing like this. Keep equal to, mention all the column names eng underscore 1, eng underscore 2, eng underscore 3. Okay. This is one way. The other way of writing, instead of writing all these columns,
you can write
the
drop.
easiest way how we can write is, of all these things, what is the common portion here?
Okay.
eng underscore is the common. In all the variable names, eng underscore is the common. So keep equal to eng underscore and just mention the colon symbol. That's it. Mention the colon symbol. First mention whatever the portion is common in all the column names. Mention that portion here, and after that just put the colon symbol here. Whether it is eng underscore 1, eng underscore 10, eng underscore 100 or eng underscore 1000, whatever it is, all the columns which begins with the eng underscore will come. So instead of defining all the columns like this, you can just write the columns like this in a simple way. Okay. Now if you run this, triple J is the data set created. This is it. eng underscore 1, eng underscore 2, eng underscore 3. Okay.
Okay.
Next one is the drop statement. Next one is the drop. So this keep and the drop statement both can be used for restricting the column names to the output window. Restricting the column names. No. So in the same example, like of 10 variables, if you want only 3 variables, I can use the keep and followed by the 3 variables I can write. Or the same thing can also be written as a drop followed by the 7 variables. Drop followed by the 7 variables. Okay.
Okay.
Got the difference?
Yeah. So, here is one thing. So, are you saying that drop makes our task little easier instead of writing all the column names?
Right. That's it. So now I want only 3 variables out of 10 variables. So instead of writing drop, I can go with the keep statement.
Keep statement.
Okay.
Right.
Just for mention the 3 variables. If you want to write with the drop, write the drop statement and write all the 7 variables which you want to drop to the output. Okay.
Right. But the columns are not permanently deleted, right? They are there in the file libraries, isn't it?
It will be in this data set. In this data set, those columns will be dropped. In the master data, it will be there. But the data set, what you are going to create new data, in that those variables will not be present. Okay? Yeah. So drop followed by the variable list. So now of these many variables, I just want to drop this variable. I just want to drop this variable. So how can write like this? Like data, new data set existing, drop followed by the variables which you don't want to see in the output. Mention the variables which you don't want to see in the output window here. Just drop that variable here. Okay. Now triple R is the data set created. Now except the gender column, you can see all the remaining columns. Yeah. So the same statement, instead of writing like this, I can write keep name, age, height, and the weight variable. Instead of writing like this, I can straight away write drop followed by the gender variable.
Okay.
Even this drop statement, either you can write it separately, or if you are writing beside the data set name, within the brackets, drop equal to, you can mention the column names which you want to drop. Okay. So either way, you can write. It's the same result. Like how we have seen the keep statement, the same way. Okay.
No, I was just saying for the same reason what you explained for keep to write in the same line.
Right. Okay. and then the rename statement. Okay, so they can ask the interview question like what statements can we use to restrict the observations. Either you can use the if statement or the where statement. What statements do we use to restrict the column names? Either you can use the keep statement or the drop statement.
Drop statement. Okay.
And the next statement is the rename statement.
So Sudhir, for because I don't want to be a SAS developer, for analyst also they can ask this kind of questions, is it? Rather than case-oriented questions?
See, as an analyst or as a programmer, even if you are going as an analyst, does not mean you are not using SAS. Using SAS only you are going to do the analysis.
Do the analysis. Yeah.
Analysis does not mean like straight away they will give the analysis data set for you to do the analysis.
Right.
You have to clean the data. You have to make the data ready, everything for the analysis. For that, all these procedures and functions and the options, you have to make use of that to prepare the analysis data set. Okay. So for that, they will ask the questions on the SAS as well as on the analysis part, as well as on the different scenarios. They will ask the questions, and you need to answer to that scenario, like which procedure or which statement can we use to come up to this particular scenario. Right. He will only give one scenario over the phone. If it is a telephonic round and all, we need to answer like this. Okay. Okay. And next one is the rename statement. Next one is the rename. So rename, the name itself is representing. Rename means giving a new name for the existing one. Assigning a new name for the existing one. Okay. So what we are renaming here is the variable name. The variable name. So now variable name is written as some XYZ. Now that XYZ variable has to be renamed to ABC. So what we'll do, rename old variable name, means the existing variable name, equal to which variable, to what variable name you want to rename. So rename XYZ equal to ABC. So renaming the existing variable name.
Sorry, yeah.
So renaming the existing variable to the new variable. Okay. So for that we use the rename statement. So syntax is rename old variable name or existing variable name equal to the new variable.
So now you are using renaming to change. Okay.
Yeah, changing the existing variable name to the new variable name.
So does it make change in the master data file also? Permanently it changes the column name permanently?
Keep only one thing in mind. Let's say this is my master data. Okay. Now what I am doing here, data, new data set I am creating, and on the new data set, if I am doing this change, means the master data set will not get affected.
Okay.
If we give here the data test2, set test2, we give the same master data set as the new data set, then only these changes will happen on the master data set.
Okay.
If we are creating a new data set based on the existing data set, those changes will not affect the master data set. Master data will remain as it is. All these changes will happen only on the new data set which we are going to create. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So now, let's say here the column name is defined as the age. I want to just rename this column to the student age or the employee age, or the whatever the age you want, whatever the rename thing. I want to rename this age column to the student age. Age to the student age. I want to rename this. Like how? Data, new data set, set existing data set name, rename Old variable name means the existing variable name. What is the existing variable name?
Age.
Age is the existing variable name. So rename age equal to the new variable name. To which variable, to what you want to rename it? I want to rename it as the student underscore age. So mention that name here. Mention that variable name here. Okay. So this new variable name also should begin with underscore or character symbol. Maximum 32 characters you can give for the new variable name. Now if you execute this, is it this? In place of age, now it is renamed with the student age. Okay. Now the same again, the rename statement, either you can use it separately or beside the data set name you can write like this.
Okay.
Beside the data set name you can write like this. So bracket open, rename equal to, again here we are using the equal to sign now. So that's why again you will open one more bracket here. If we observe the keep or the drop statement, we just mention drop equal to as many variables you want.
Yes.
Whereas for the rename statement, the statement itself we are writing with the equal to sign. So for that we will need to open one more bracket here, age equal to like this. Okay.
Okay. So for in a single statement of renaming, can we rename more than one column name?
Yeah, you can. So age equal to employee age. Give one more space. Name equal to employee name. Give one more space. Gender equal to employee gender, like this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So all this keep or the drop or the rename, you can write more than one variable at a time.
Okay.
We now use the rename like this. The data set is the K, and if you see this, the employee. Earlier we have seen with the student age. Now I have renamed like this, the employee age. Okay. And now, okay. So these are some statements like keep, drop, and the rename statements. So depends on the requirement and all, like we'll be using those particular statements.
Okay.
Next one is the location statement. Next one is the location statement. So what is the use of this statement is by default, SAS will read only the first 8 characters of the data. By default, SAS will read only the first 8 characters of the data. Now, if the data exceeds 8 characters, then we'll use the location statement. What 8 characters exceeding means? Now let's say here I have written the name variable. Below the name variable, if we have the more than 8 characters, then we'll use the location statement. Means by default, SAS will read only the first 8 characters of the data only. By default. But whereas my data is more than 8 characters. Now I want to read the data. How to read the data is by making use of this statement called the location statement. Make use of the location statement. Okay. Now, so the syntax for this is variable name. We'll mention the starting position hyphen the ending position. We'll see how to define this thing. Okay, we'll see in the example how to define this. And nowhere in the program we use the keyword called the location. Nowhere we'll mention the keyword called the location. By specifying the starting position and the ending position itself represents the location. Okay. And where we'll define the starting position and the ending position? Beside the variable name. Beside the variable name, we'll define the starting position and the ending position. Yeah. Now let's say this is the data I have, like name, number. If you see the data like Raj Kumar and Sham Prasad is there. Okay. Now if you execute this, see the data here. Raj has read properly, Raj Kumar, and Sham Prasad is there. If you see the data, just
D
read
is
only
not
Sham
there.
Prasad.
Yeah, D is not
AD is not there. Why?
No,
Because
because it's more
it is
than 8
exceeding
characters.
8 characters.
Yeah.
Right. It is exceeding 8 by default. It reads only the first 8 characters.
First 8 characters, yeah, I remember.
Now, I want to read the full data like with Sham Prasad. Sham Prasad. Yeah. Now, beside the variable name, on what variable it is exceeding the data? On the name variable. So if you see the syntax, on that variable name, you have to mention the starting position and the ending position. Now, what we'll mention here is the starting position number and the ending position number will define. On which observation will define the starting and the ending is, let's say of these 3 observations, which observation is having the more number of characters in the data? Of these 3 observations. Which one?
Last one, more than 8 characters, right?
Right, Sham Prasad. Now we identified that on this particular observation, we have to apply this starting position and the ending position. Like how we'll take the starting and the ending here?
We'll start from character 1 and then let's say how many you have. You must be having like 9, 10,
yeah, you
10,
don't need
10,
to count also.
10.
Right, you are right. But you don't need to count also. Put the control here and see the column number. Can you see my mouse, my control?
Yeah.
So here it is showing call 1, cursor position. Okay. So what we'll do here, mention the starting position, hyphen, put the control here at the end, see the column number. What is the column number?
That's what I am not able to see it. That's what I'm saying. Where?
Oh, you can't able to see this.
No.
1 second. I think it's because of the screen resolution. Can you see them now?
No. No.
I just minimized my screen.
Right, I understood, but I can't see like number 11, it's not showing.
Can you see now?
No, I can't.
Okay,
okay, yeah, now I saw it. Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay. It's 11. Okay.
Yeah, it's 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just mention that number. That's
it.
Okay. Put the control on the starting point and put the control at the ending point and the highest number of maximum number of characters in the data. Okay. Whatever it is, just put the control here. Raj Kumar and the Sham Prasad here. Now 1 to 11. Now if you run this, now see here Raj Kumar and the Sham Prasad. Okay. Okay. Now let's say I have some thousands and thousands of observations. How I will come to know like which particular observation is having the maximum number of characters and what is the ending position number? How to mention that number here? As of here I have 3 observations. I can see this is the maximum number. So put the control here at the top and at the end put the control, see the column number here. Okay. Now if I have some thousands and thousands of observations, how I should know that what particular number I should mention as the ending position number, whether it's 20 or 30 or 50 or 100. How will come to know?
That was my next question for you. I don't know.
Yeah. So there is a function called the length function is there. We'll cover that when we go to the functions topic. Okay. So length function is there. So you can apply the length of names. Okay. So for this, it will show the 3. For this, whatever the number, it will count the characters. How many characters are there? For this, it will count how many characters were there. Like this, it will count all the observations which we have on the name column here, like 3, 7, 9, 15, 20, 100, 1000, something like this. Okay. Now, on that column, we'll take the maximum. Again, we have the max function is there. We'll apply the max function on that. The maximum number it will show. Put that maximum number here.
Okay.
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 So now with this, the starting point and the ending point, you can read the data properly. Okay, Raj, Kumar, Shyam Prasad.
Okay.
Now let's say I have the data like this, the same example, same thing by mentioning the starting position and the ending position, same thing.
Okay.
Now the data I have entered like this. What is the difference between writing like this and writing? What did you see? Find the difference?
Just give me 1 second. That's it. Just give me 1 second. That's what I'm trying to see. What's the difference? I'm just comparing. Okay. Is there like? I mean, is it something like there is a space in the from line? If I compare line 391 and compare line 404, so the gap between Raj and 10 is more, whereas in number 404 the gap between Raj and 10 is much less.
Right. Okay. Now I have the data like this now. Okay.
Okay.
I mentioned the starting point and the ending point, 1 to 11.
Okay.
Now run this. And this is the output.
Oh.
But this is not my expected output, isn't it?
No.
And if you see this, under the name, Raj is populated as well as
10
the 10.
Also. Yeah.
10 is the number variable, actually. It is the number value, but it is also populating under the name variable. Why? Because for the name variable here, you define 1 to 11. That means, even if you read all these things also, it's a maximum is the 7 only. Okay. So that's why this 10 also has come under the name variable. But I don't want this to happen. Under the name variable, only the name should come, and under the number variable, the number should come here.
Okay.
That means here on the comment I mentioned here, data without proper alignment. This is data with proper alignment means under the name just the name data, under the number it's a number data. Now without the proper alignment means like this. Okay. So when the data is like this, if you want to read the names under the name variable and the numeric values under the number variable, what we'll do here is we'll give the colon symbol between the variable name and the dollar sign. Between these two only you have to define the colon symbol. Between these two only you have to define the colon symbol. What this colon does here is, now what's happening without the colon symbol? 1 to 11 characters, 1 to 11 spaces you mentioned. So it is also reading the 10 value here because it's less than 11 spaces only here. Now, with the colon symbol, what you are telling here is in the 1 to 11 spaces, read only the name data but not the other variable data. Read only the name data for the spaces 1 to 11 but not the other variable data into the name variable. Other variable data into the name variable. And if you execute this with a colon, now see the difference. Means for the 1 to 11 spaces, it will take only the name variable data but not the other variable information into that.
Okay, got it.
So whatever the number, if you mention 1 to 100, for the first 1 to 100 spaces, it just reads only the name variable data but not the other variable data into that. How it will read? because of this colon symbol. Based on the colon symbol. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is also a delimiter, Sudhir? This one, this colon symbol?
No. Colon is not a delimiter.
But this is
With
not
the colon,
colon, right? This is delimiter. This is colon. This is not colon symbol.
This is the what delimiter? This is the colon symbol. Semicolon
No.
is there. If you hold the shift button and press
Okay,
that, that is the
that will be
colon
semicolon.
symbol.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And the next statement is the length statement. Next one is the length statement.
Okay.
Now, this location statement and the length statement will use when the data exceeds 8 characters. When the data exceeds 8 characters, we use the, either we can use the location statement or we can use the length statement. Okay? Now, so location statement, when you see, beside the variable name, by mentioning the starting point and the ending point, we have defined the location. We have nowhere used the location as the keyword. Whereas the length statement, if you see, we can either use with the length statement separately to define the width of the data. Separately to define the width. Location and length both used for the same purpose only when the data exceeds 8 characters. But the difference is, with the length statement, we can write it separately with the length statement, or in the input statement itself, you can define the length. Either you can write like this, or with the length statement also we can define. So length followed by the variable name and followed by the W dot. W here represents the width of the data, W dot. Okay. So now, so the same example, instead of defining the starting point and the ending point beside the variable name, just put the control here on the maximum number of characters in the data. It's 11. Just mention the 11 dot here. Instead of writing 1-11, we can straight away write 11 dots.
Okay.
And straight away write 11 dot here. Okay. So either you can write specific separately by the length statement, or with the input statement only we can. So the first example what we are going to see is with the highlighted one. Okay. Input variable name, just give the 11 dot here. And if we execute this, this is the output. Okay.
Okay.
Now with another thing, either we can write with the length statement also. How to write that? Dataset name, length, mention the variable name, the data type, and followed by the width dot. So length, on what variable you are applying this? On the name column, it's a character, so mention the dollar symbol, and the width dot, there is a 11 dot here, semicolon. Next again, input, just mention the variable names, that's it. Name and the number. No need of writing the 11 dot here. Okay.
That you are defining at the starting, right? After length,
so
right?
These two statements is equivalent to writing like this. Okay. Either with the length statement, if you want to define it separately, you can write like this: length followed by variable name followed by width dot. Just mention the input followed by the variable names. So if you don't want to write like this with the two different statements, we can even go with this statement. Okay.
So when it is compulsory to use length statement, I mean, what would be the scenario where I need to use length statement?
There won't be any separate. See, if you want to display it separately, we'll write it. Or else no, there won't be any separate scenario like where we'll use the length statement separately, or where we'll use within the input statement. There won't be any such separate scenario for this thing here.
Okay, so
there are two
length
ways of writing.
Yeah, go ahead. So length statement is completely optional. It's not that to define the number of the, I mean, character, it's not compulsory to write length. I can do it in the input statement itself, right?
Right. Right. That's what is mentioned as the OR here. OR means Either you can write like this
or that.
or you can write like this. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So now if you run the same thing, with the same person.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So this is the location and the length statement when the data exceeds 8 characters. And the another advantage with the length statement, let's say I have the name variable and I have the maximum only 4 characters in the data. Maximum is only 4 characters in the data. Okay. Now even though we will use the length statement. What is the use of using the length statement when the data is less than 8 characters? By default, it will read 8 characters. But the length statement we use when the data exceeds 8 characters. Not only when the data exceeds 8 characters, even if the data is less than 8 characters, also we can use the length statement. And let's say, example, I have only maximum 4 characters in the data. That is a maximum.
Okay.
What is the use of defining the length statement if it is less than 8 characters? What is the use of it?
Less than 8 characters, right?
Right. And default 8 characters, and in the data I have maximum 4 characters in the data, and still I'm using the length statement. What is the use of that? The answer is almost in my question only.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not necessary, right, to use the length in this case. I can or I cannot.
It's better to use that thing. I'll tell the reason. You just tell like for what purpose, why we have to use that. It's better to use that.
But why? It's automatically SAS reads 8 characters, and you are saying that the length of the characters is less than 8.
That question I'm asking you, why?
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. I'm thinking.
Okay, fine. Okay,
That's what I'm
think.
thinking.
Okay. 8 characters, but maximum only 4 characters, and I'm using the length. Here, if you are using the length 11 dot means
it will read
till the 11 spaces.
Right. It will read till 11 places. Yeah.
Right. Now I have only 4 characters. By default, it is 8 characters. Still,
Okay.
I'm using the length.
Oh, then it will read till 4, not till 8, right? But
right.
how come? Oh, okay. We are specifying the
How
length.
come means the additional 4 spaces, it's unnecessarily a burden to the hard disk as well as the processing time also. Means the processing time will be in fraction only, but the processing time is much faster compared to without using the length statement if it is less than 8 characters.
Okay, now here is the thing, Sudhir. Let's say now we are limiting the characters with till 4 characters. Okay, let's say as you are saying. So now let's say till 4 characters, whatever data, whatever the names we have for our variable or observation, they are same. Then what happens? Then it will populate the wrong data for me, right?
What? Come again?
No, what I'm saying, since you are like specifying the length, it's still four characters or four width. But now let's say we have few observations where first 4 characters of a name variable is same.
First 4 characters of name variable is same.
Same.
Okay.
So let's say all characters starts with ABCD, but after ABCD the characters are different.
The example what I ask you is I have maximum 4 characters only I have. Like here Raj 3 characters, here Raj Kumar 7, here Sam Prasad 11.
Yeah.
Instead of this I just have only the maximum is only 4. Okay, like A, in the first observation A, next observation AB, next observation ABC, next observation ABCD, like this, next DEFG, XYZW, like this, only maximum 4. If such the scenario I asked, okay?
I got it. Okay. So now my question is like, now let's say the maximum character as it is by default is 8, right? Let's say it's 8. I understood, like if I mention till 4 characters, it takes less processing time. Well understood. But my question is, let's say the first 4 characters it's RAJK for all observation, whatever observation I have. Right? But I am putting a condition that length should be 4. And based on that condition, whatever, like how I'm going to differentiate the variables, if let's say the differentiation has to be made on a column called name.
One second. You didn't get the point yet.
No. What you are trying to say, I got it. I am asking you something different. I got it, what you are saying.
Okay. If you have only this thing, ABCD.
No,
okay?
Let's not talk about this scenario. I have understood. Let's say you have one more character EFGH. After ABCD, you have one more character. Another 4 characters.
Like this,
yeah. And from after 4 characters, whatever characters are there, they are different for all the variables. I mean to say all the observations, right?
See, wait. If this is the case, why I'll give length 4 dot here first point?
No, you are not getting. You will not give. I am asking. Let's say I am going to put a constant called length equals to 4. Okay.
Okay.
That
then
you are
will get only ABCD portion.
Yeah, that I know. What I am asking, and based on that condition, if I want to populate another data set, and that data set main condition is on that column name, call name. Let's say I just want to populate only the column name, as you said, like keep only. I want to keep name of name column set. Okay. Then there would be no differentiation because it will only show ABCD, isn't it?
Still I didn't get your question.
See, let's say I just want to populate a column called name. Okay. I just want to keep the column called name. Okay. And then before that I am oh no, now I got it. Before putting any condition, I have to, okay, I got it. I have to create the data set. Okay. Now I got it.
It's a very simple. I made it very simple. I don't know. You are thinking in a very complicated way.
No. I tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking like while populating the data set, what I was thinking that first I am using the condition, then I am creating the data set. That is my mistake. That's what I was thinking. I know you made it very clear for me. I have no issues with that.
Okay. Fine. Not a problem.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll stop for now and we'll continue in the tomorrow session.
Okay, fine. And tomorrow I can share my screen with you, right? Yeah, I will try to do that. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sudhir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.